This movie pissed me off. Hello, welcome to October Scaries. I'm watching 7 movies for the month of October, and today we're going to talk about The Descent. Yes, The Descent. I have not watched something that was going so incredibly well, so well done, only for it to crash and burn at the 11th hour since Game of Thrones. Yeah, since Game of Thrones. So, The Descent is a British horror film. It's about 6 adventurous women who meet up to explore a cave. And once they're inside the cave, it's a desperate fight for survival because the cave is home to some scary creatures who are hungry. The Descent is incredible. It is like heart pumping, hide behind your fingers, pause, okay? Stressful, scary. The jump scares are so good. And then it all goes to shit in the last 30 minutes. It crashes, it burns, and it explodes for good measure. Let's talk about it, because after we were disappointed, we found out that there are 2 endings to the movie. And if only I had watched the British ending. No! The American version is what's on Prime. And I hope if you've seen The Descent, that explains my pissed offness. So we have 6 characters. We've got Sarah, Beth, Juno, Holly, Sam, and Rebecca, aka Becca. Now, any movie about survival, I want the most competent character to survive. I want the person who displays the most survival instincts to survive. And it's not a requirement. I want it, but I don't have to get what I want. And so, like, if you do kill the character who displays, like, the most survival instincts, the character who's most competent, if you do kill that character, that's okay. What a twist! You kill this person. This person better not then die at the hands of the weakest character in the movie. And if they, for whatever mysterious reason, you know, movie magic, if they do die at the hands of the weakest character, that weak-ass character better die too. And in The Descent, the weak-ass character makes it to the end. Sarah's survival is the most unearned thing I've seen in a while. But let's talk about Queen Juno first. Juno is the best character in the movie. Like I said, she is competent. She did put them in this situation, okay? But she didn't know that there were monsters, okay? She didn't know that, but once she did find out there are monsters, Juno was like, nobody gets left behind. Yes, she is trifling for sleeping with her friend's husband for who knows how long, but as the movie develops, that becomes the least interesting thing about Juno. But it remains the most interesting thing about Sarah, the fact that her husband cheated on her. And so that's why we got the ending that we got. But Juno, once she found out that she messed up and she put them in an uncharted cave that has monsters in it, like humanoid cannibals, she was like, nobody gets left behind. Becca and Sam were ready to leave Sarah. And Juno was like, no, we gotta find Sarah. She was looking for everybody. And so she really was like very much team captain. So yes, she put them in an uncharted cave. But when you got it like that, when you're a badass, you can take risks like that. I'm just saying. Juno's my favorite character. Her death is ridiculous. It is unbelievable. But also, the dynamic of this friendship is fucked up. And I'll get to that. But I will tell you, the best scene of the movie is after Holly bites it, the monster's trying to take... That's when Juno, like, earned me. Okay? At a certain point, I literally said, Juno, you are exonerated. You have exonerated yourself. But she got me when... I think she got all of us. Maybe not Jennifer, but it was definitely a badass scene. We all agree. When the monster was trying to take Holly's carcass to go do whatever. And Juno was like, no, hell no, you're not going to take my friend. and she was defending Sarah's. If only she was defending Holly's deceased body. Like, you're not going to take her. I was supposed to look out for her. You're not going to take her. And then a second monster comes into the equation, and Juno was like, "Oh yeah, you can get some too." I was like, "Oh, you're the one to watch." Like, excuse me. We'll get to it. Let's talk about it right now, actually. There are humanoid monsters. These women are in it. Are they going to survive? How many of them are going to survive? That's what's interesting. You wanted me to still care about the cheating storyline? That's what we needed to resolve? And not resolve it in any kind of way. Like, you think Juno needed to be punished for that still? It's nasty. Juno accidentally kills Beth. Which, like, why the hell are you running up on anybody in this dark-ass cave with monsters running around? That blow, that was shocking. That was an accident. Now, when Juno reunites with Becca and what's-her-face, Becca and her sister Sam, she makes it seem like Beth just, the monsters got Beth. Ill-advised, but is it? I'll get to that. It's an accident. This movie keeps Beth alive just so she can spread misinformation. Beth stayed alive just to lie. Like my sister said, all she had to do was go quietly into the light. But instead, she hangs on to life and that damn pendant. Survives getting dragged, roughly, no doubt, by the monster, just so she can lie to Sarah and say that Juno tried to kill her. And Sarah very realistically says that's not the case. Like, she would never do that. Why would she do that? And then Beth shows her the stupid necklace, and Sarah's like, "Oh, she definitely tried to kill you, because why else would you have her necklace?" Now, let's talk about the dynamics of this friendship and why it is so nasty. None of these women care about Juno, but it is so extreme. When Becca and Sam were hiding and trying to keep quiet, and Juno was looking for them, one of them said, like, she keeps screaming like that, those monsters are gonna come down on her head. And the other sister says, as long as they fall on her head and not mine. Excuse me? There's being pissed at your friend because, like, you blame her for bringing you to the cave with the cannibals. There's that. And then there's also, like, not giving a damn if she dies. Excuse me? And then this thing with Beth. Like, why would you believe that she would kill you? Like, I know what she saw, but then she must have also seen that Juno literally turned and swung at the same time. So why would you say she tried to kill me? It reveals, like, if I'm to take it at face value instead of just, like, a bad story, it reveals that this, like, friendship was hella sinister. Like I still can't. Because it's like, how do you jump from she's a trifling bitch who I'm helping conceal an affair with my friend's husband, Beth, okay? She is not innocent. She was helping Juno hide this, okay? She cared about Sarah so much, but she never told her. She gets to escape scot-free. She died, but she gets to escape scot-free. Talk about some, I'm sorry. Leaves a legacy of a lie in her death. The husband gets away scot-free, but Juno dies. Beth, how do you jump from this woman is trifling, but I don't think she's that trifling because I'm helping her have the secret. I'm never gonna let her forget that. How do you go from she's trifling, she's an adulterer, to she's capable of murder? And let's be frank, like, Sarah learns about this stupid secret, and that's what's driving her Rambo transformation, because they do turn her into Rambo. All of a sudden, she's making weapons. She jumps into a pool of blood. They're doing all this extra stuff to make her seem competent. That is not the character you wrote. You wrote Sarah as a fragile widow and mother. That's what you wrote, and you did not take her on a journey. It was a light switch. Okay, bringing back a term from my Smallville days. It was a light switch because she finds out this secret that her husband cheated on her. That's what killing Juno was fucking about. That's why she displayed the necklace. It was about the husband. It was not about Beth. All this extra crap to try to make Sarah seem competent. Janine said, "You know who didn't need all that? Blood and Juno." Because you wrote her capabilities as a natural part of her character, okay? Now, I'm not saying that Sarah couldn't have stabbed something, thrown a punch, but what they did to her was over the top, and they dared put that scene of her and Juno fighting those monsters as if they're on the same level. They are not. And then to have her, like, the stare, the hero main character stare. And then she whacks her with the pickaxe or whatever that was, and then runs and survives. And Juno, because of that injury to her leg, is done for. Insulting. The thing, I'm not even gonna, because I could do the most, like, I could really do the most and talk about the implications of this storyline with Juno being the only woman of color in that friend group, and how they all were, like, those two sisters didn't give a damn about her life. Beth was willing to believe she's a murderer. Sarah killed her. I could talk about that because I don't believe those implications are purposeful, like, because otherwise it would be a social critique. But I won't take it there. I'll let everybody live. So that's my review. It's not that Juno had to survive. It's that if Juno wasn't gonna survive, no one else should survive. Least of all Sarah. Okay? Least of all Sarah. I would have loved to have watched the British ending where Sarah makes it out. She sees Juno in the car, she screams, and then she wakes up in the cave because she didn't get out. Although, I would have still given it the rating that I gave it because of the sequel. The sequel reveals that Sarah did survive. So clearly she also survived in the British, because it's a British sequel. I checked. It's not just that they made a sequel in America. There's a British sequel wherein Sarah has amnesia. Why? So that you can relive the same damn story again? This movie pissed me off. It's a 1 out of 5. Yes, it is a 1 out of 5. It's incredible pacing, heart racing, and all of that, but I cannot get past the story. The story is why it was a 5 out of 5. Legit, a 5 out of 5 movie. But when everything went to shit, the feelings I felt no longer mattered. Let me know what you thought of the movie. So the US ending is different from the British ending because they wanted to give the US audience hope. So then you should have had Juno live. But that's my rating. 1 out of 5.